In today's lab, we'll be studying Ohm's law, which describes the relationship between voltage and current. So if we apply a voltage V across some conductor, then the resulting current that flows through that conductor is going to be directly related to the voltage by the equation V equals IR, where V is the voltage, I is the current, and R is the resistance. And this is Ohm's law. Now we can also rearrange this equation to say that I equals V over R, or current equals voltage divided by resistance. And in that case, if we hold the voltage constant and vary the resistance, then a plot of the resulting current versus 1 over resistance should yield a straight line plot with a slope equal to the voltage V. The experiment for this lab is very simple, but you will need to follow the instructions carefully, otherwise you might damage your multimeter or your circuit components. There is a potential for that in this lab, and a lot of students in the past have damaged their multimeter in the process. So just take this as a warning and be careful. So first up, we need to find the resistors. And for this lab, we need the 1 kiloohm, 2 kiloohms, 3 kiloohms, 4.3 kiloohms, and 5.1 kiloohm resistors. And as I explained in the resistor lab, the resistor value is represented by the colors printed on the resistor. So the 1 kiloohm resistor is brown, black, red, and then it has a tolerance of gold. Yours might be different. The 2 kiloohm is red, black, red. 3 kiloohms is going to be orange, black, red. There it is. 4.3 kiloohms is going to be yellow, orange, red. And then 5.1 kiloohms is green, brown, red. And in my case, each of the tolerances is gold, which is plus or minus 5%. So say the 4.3 kiloohms, that would be 4.3 kiloohms plus or minus 5% of that value. Now we need to measure each of these resistors. And for that, we're going to use the multimeter. Just make sure that the probes are in the correct ports. We want black in comm and red in ohms. Then just turn the dial to the 20K range. These are less than 20K, but some of them are greater than 2000 ohms. So let's just do this on the 20 kilo ohm range. I'm going to measure them the same way as we did in the resistor lab. So I'll just bend the leads and place each end in a separate row on the breadboard. Then we just have to touch the multimeter probes to each side and we'll record the resistance. And this is the 1 kilo ohm, and it looks like I've got 0.98 kilo ohms. So I'll just record that, and you will need to record it in ohms. So that would be 980 ohms. Then we've got the 2 kilo ohm. Again, I'll bend it and place it in separate rows. Touch the multimeter probes to it, and we've got 1.97, 1.96 kilo ohms. So that would be 1,960 ohms. Now I've got the 3 kilo ohm. Again, I'll measure that. And in this case, it looks like I have 2.92 kilo ohms. So that would be 2,920 ohms. Now the 4.3 kilo ohm resistor, place that one in there, and we've got 4.25, 4.24 kilo ohms. So that would be 4,240 ohms. Then last I have the 5.1 kilo ohm resistor, so I'll just place that in there as before, touch the probes to it, and I've got 4.99 kilo ohms, so that would be 4,990 ohms. Next I need to measure the battery voltage, and for that, again, make sure that the probes are in the correct ports, so we want black in comm and red in V for volts. Then this is a 9-volt battery, so we'll turn the dial to the 20-volt range, and then just touch the black probe to the negative port and red to positive. And I have 9.15 volts. If you find that the battery voltage has gotten below 8.5 volts, then you should probably replace the battery with a new one. Now at this point I need to give you a warning. Whenever you measure the battery voltage, make sure that the dial is actually set to voltage. If you try to measure the voltage but you've accidentally set it to current, then it's going to allow a huge amount of current to flow through the multimeter, which will be too much, and it will burn out the multimeter fuse. So just be careful about that whenever you measure battery voltage or any voltage like that where it's directly connected to a power source. Make sure that you've set the multimeter to measure voltage. Now all we have to do is build a simple circuit and measure the current for each of our resistors. Our power source will be the battery, so I'm just going to place this in separate rows. I think I'll put it on opposite sides, so we'll have the positive one there And let's put the negative one over on that side. Then we need to have one of our resistors, so I'll place one end of that in the same row as the red battery wire. Let me just move this one over here so it's a little easier to see where that's being connected. So these are both in row 25, the red wire and that end of the resistor. And the other end of the resistor is going to go right there. Then I think I'll just add a jumper wire right here. This is going from the same row as the negative battery wire, the black one, and it's going into some other row. And this will just make it a little bit easier to measure the current, to touch the multimeter probe right there. Sometimes it's hard to touch it to the same wire as the battery wire, so this will just make it a little bit easier. To measure current, again, we need to make sure that the probes are in the correct ports. So we want black in COM and red in the milliamp port. If it's not already in that port, then you may need to move it to a different port. There's also going to be a 10 amp port or some other high current port. That's not the one we want for this experiment. We need it on the milliamp port. Then turn the dial over to measure current, and we'll start with the 200 milliamp range just to be safe, and then if we notice that it's less than 20 milliamps, then we'll turn it down to the 20 milliamp range. To measure current then, I'm just going to press the black probe against this jumper wire here, so this will be connected to the negative wire on the battery, and then the red probe needs to touch the opposite end of the resistor. If you touch it to the same end of the resistor as the battery is connected, that's like connecting it directly across the battery, which I already said was a bad thing to do. So be careful not to do that. Touch it to the opposite end of the resistor, so the end that is not touching the battery, and measure the current. So right now I have 9.2 milliamps, and that means it's less than 20 milliamps, so I'm going to turn this down to the 20 milliamp range. Then again, we'll touch the black multimeter probe to the jumper wire that's connected to the negative battery wire, and the red probe to the opposite end of that resistor. So we have 9.07 milliamps, and I'll press hold just to save that value, and we've got 9.07 milliamps. We need that in amps, so just divide by 1,000 to get it in amps. Then I'm just going to swap out the 1 kilo ohm resistor for the 2 kilo ohm resistor. Place one end of it in the same row as the positive battery wire, and the other end of the resistor in some other row. Then the black multimeter probe is going to touch the jumper wire with the negative battery wire. The red probe touches the opposite end of that resistor, and I need to press hold again, so we release that, and we have 4.57 milliamps. Okay, 4.56. So then you would just divide that by 1,000, and you would get it in amps. And we'll just continue this process. So swap out the 2 kilo ohm resistor for the 3 kilo ohm resistor, one end in the same row as the positive battery wire, and the other end in a different row. Black multimeter probe to the negative battery wire, red multimeter probe to the opposite end of that resistor. I'm going to save that value. We've got 3.09 milliamps, so divide by 1,000 to get it in amps. Then 4.3 kilo ohms, one end in the same row as the positive battery wire, other end in a different row. Black multimeter probe to the negative battery wire, positive multimeter probe to the opposite end of that resistor. Get the current, divide by 1,000, do the same thing with the 5.1 kilo ohms, put that one in, measure the current, and convert to amps. Then when you're done, just turn off the multimeter. They won't shut off automatically, so to save the battery, you'll have to manually shut it off. And that's it for this experiment. So just read your instructions carefully. They will have more information than what is shared in the video, and good luck on your experiment.